Alright, what's up everybody? In this video we're checking out every new Divine Boosted unit from update 76 in Anime Last Stand. These are all Divine Boosted stuff, nothing new in terms of like content or anything. Starting off with Yoruichi here, I believe Glitched and Glorious, no skill tree, and triple S everything. Thank you to, I remember it was Isaac for showcasing this one, Zach, or Isaac, so thank you very much. Otherwise though, starting off with Yoruichi, placement cost of 480, by the way ignore the cosmetic I have on. And the shiny Yuta, I got a little bit desperate, there was maybe something going on stream. Recorded live as always, live stream going on. Anyway though, Yoruichi on placement, Circle AoE hybrid doing 5.1 mil every 4 seconds-ish. Passives we have an ability, which is going to 3 times damage per second, okay? In range, so like a range damage over time thing. Afterward apply bullet scaling off the total damage dealt by this ability, so like a little mini nuke, okay? Enemies are affected by critical 8 times within 10 seconds, so she crits very often. You're going to stun them, apply plasma, and then cooldown is current SPA times 30. Okay, a little bit of supporting stuff here, a little bit of mini nuking as well. Surging Currents, gain 20% crit chance on crit, apply bolt, scaled off crit damage. Okay, in the units of AoE, so AoE bolt, actually good. And then she's going to also kind of reduce her own SPA, so kind of buff herself and crit damage. Not bad, not bad. Takes a while to ramp up though. Flash Step Master, when an enemy enters 75% of her range, walk back for 7 seconds, then deal a guaranteed crit for 3 times damage to that enemy. Pretty good. Little crit passive here, and walk back as well. And then Black Cat Fan Club, we have Soy Fun is in range, buff from Surging Currents also apply to her. And Detonation is unlocked on placement. Okay, so she's going to get the buff from this passive right here, from the ramping up SPA and crit damage. Cool. Nothing too crazy, but if we want to get into the showcase here. Well, did I tell this guy I jumped upgrade? He knows. Okay, cool. Raijun Senkai. Right now, I mean, the damage doesn't look too crazy. I feel like this unit is mostly going to be low damage, low SPA, and a lot of strong passives, though. Ability on max upgrade, Flash Goddess. New ability right here. On activation, it lasts 150 seconds. All instances of Bolt within... Wait. Doubling Bolt, reapplying a second time after 3 seconds. Wow, okay. Then 50%, pretty much 48% of her damage every second. Ticks are guaranteed to crit and apply bullet scaling off this damage. Any light units in range, apply bolt every 3rd attack and have 50% less SPA. Okay. A little bit of a buff to light units, also pretty good for doing like a little mini nuke type of thing from the damage every second and bolt. Pretty okay for like map-wide, not map-wide, but range-wide damage from her passives and everything. If you ramp her up fully, she does get probably a lot stronger because up to, what, 250% crit damage, right? And then 80% less SPA. Pretty good. I think overall, if you let her ramp up, really good damage for having crit. Otherwise though, not too much going on here. Moving on to Makima, I think? Moving on to Domination Devil Control, Makima. Thank you to AustPal for showcasing this one. So we have placement cost of 5k, doing 40.4 mil every 6.66 seconds. We have Fear, Hybrid Circle AoE. Control passive. Enemies in range gain a stack of control each time they are inflicted with a debuffing effect. I guess we'll find out what that is going to be. Every 20 seconds apply 10% damage times control. Okay, so it's going to scale off that building up. Gotcha. So a little mini nuke type of thing. Every 20 seconds above her head there's probably a countdown. Yeah. Domination. Buff this unit's damage by 10% for each unit in range. Okay, you want to have a bunch of stuff in her range. Coercion. All units within 5% range will no longer be able to attack independently. Okay. Wow, so they're only going to attack when she attacks and then also inherit her range. That's only if you put them right next to her though. So if they have like really slow SPA, imagine you put down like, I don't know, what's an example? Like Kira? If Kira has like really high damage, but bad example because he doesn't attack, but units with really high damage that could actually be helpful. And then Bark for me. Buff the damage of units under coercion by a flat 50% of her current damage. So if she has like 80 mil, eventually it'll give them like 40 mil, half of that. Okay. A lot of like weird supporting stuff for having units in her range, but moving on we get a new effect at upgrade 3, Despair. And she is still Circle AoE though. Upgrade 5, a new ability, Bang. This is going to be total buff damage times control stacks to all enemies, apply hemorrhage based on this unit's multiplier. Okay, a little nuke with a 750 cooldown. I'm not sure what total buff damage means. Maybe like right here, this right here, the 50% flat buff that she gives other people. Maybe it'll add up every single one that she has active right now. And then multiply that by control stacks, which are from this passive right here. And do a little mini nuke off that. Not bad. Contract. Okay. Upon activation. We're not doing that right now because we're trying to showcase I'm ramping up a Shinra in the background. but sell all other units. Delete everything but her. Deals total cell cash times 250k damage to the entire map every 15 seconds permanently. Okay. Permanently becomes like... Hold on. If you can replay stuff after using this, then she's really good, which I'm assuming you can. So, meta infinite for sure, guaranteed, because it becomes like a lot of damage every second, every 15 seconds, sorry. And then a rupture based on that multiplier, automatically use bang, reset if applicable. Okay, cool. Automatically she's going to be nuking off that and really high damage scaling for that. Really expensive to get that ability though, 1.2 mil on that upgrade alone, and maxing out for about 5.2 mil I think, maxed out for 5.2. Pretty good damage though, 4.44 bill, 5.5 SPA, we're maxed out, and she's looking pretty good. This is with a maxed out crit tree, glitch and glorious, level 85 triple S everything. Looking pretty good. Meta infinite for sure. I don't know about progressive though, because she's like really expensive, but thank you again, AustPal, for showcasing. Moving on. Next up we have the Divine Boosted Virgil, alongside Dante right here. We have him because apparently there's like some form of combo between them. I mean, of course, there's what Dante has here, but also Virgil might have something pairing with them. I don't know. Thank you to Silence2AM, my clanmate, for showcasing this one. Placement cost of 1.9k-ish, and it looks like we have no skill tree on him. Plus everything though, level 85, Glitch and Glorious, we have 13.2 mil every 4.17, Circle AoE, and the ability Jackpot on placement, which is going to be a 1500 cooldown, doing 100 billion times Dante's combo meter, so you do want to pair him with Dante. Probably, right here. Potentially though, that's like 1000 times over 100 billion. That's actually a lot. Then going to reset their combo rank down to D tier, so reset their build up, but pretty strong nuke. Reluctant Jackpot marks the enemy with the lowest range in range. Both Virgil and the marked unit have a 10% chance to follow up each other's attacks. Okay, if Dante's in range, he will be marked regardless of range. Okay, and that's how you unlock the ability here, is by pairing them up. So, kind of like a follow-up attack thing, that's all it really has there. Doppelganger. After dealing damage stat times 10, summon a Doppelganger with 75% of Virgil's damage for 40 seconds, max 5 alive. Doppelganger has Mutilate. So after a certain amount of damage, after attacking like 10 times pretty much, or only a few times because of crit, he's gonna have a clone, which is not bad, especially having Mutilate. And then Mirage Blades. Every 10 seconds, throw one blade at the strongest enemy for 25% damage and apply bleed. In Devil Trigger, throw 3 blades instead. Okay. Like a boss killing thing, strongest enemy only, and a bleed, a little bit of damage there. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. Oh, Shinra attacking? No. Wonder why he's not like spawning in clones, but whatever. Keep going. What does this guy do on future upgrades here? He does have Rupture immediately, which is not bad. Pretty good effect to have. Looks like Dante is triple S. Let me check if he got anything new. Just his own stuff, nothing from Virgil. Okay. Upgrade 7, we have Devil Trigger. Swap to Devil Form. Game Devil Form. Okay. Check that out on final upgrade, I think. We'll max him out first. Full AoE. Doing about 2.26 billion with Rupture. Not bad. Want to use Devil Trigger. Check that out. What is that gonna do? Gonna give him a passive. Here we go. Okay. Right here. Every 5th attack deals 7 times damage, so pretty good, like, inconsistent damage spike. Applying Hemorrhage and Bolt off his multiplier, also gains 20% crit damage. Emperor each attack, 50% flat crit chance, and 1% damage per 10 combo. Okay. Pretty much a buffed up mode. Look at that crit damage. Wow. Is that bugged? It looks like it's not temporary. This might be bugged. His damage is going up like infinitely crit damage here. But he is really good with this in mind, without the bug, whatever that is going on in mind. Really good crit unit, especially if you pair him with Dante. Oh, there we go. Reset when his form went away. The Devil Trigger form. Okay. There was Virgil, and also kind of paired with Dante because you have to for the full kit. Otherwise though, thank you Silence2AM again for showcasing. That was Virgil, Lightning Devil. Next up, I think we go into Poche. Okay, Poche next up, and this guy has a lot going on. I don't know if I can even, like, summarize everything properly. I'll try my best, but okay. Ability on placement, disc swap, enter disc form. Wait, no, swap disc form. On swap, he's going to deal like a little bit of a mini nuke to the strongest enemy, so boss killing. He can gain the stand, which is stun and restrict, and walk back. Okay, actually really good for supporting. Memory, which is soaked, and Wait, what? It's deal 0.3 times enemies hit by attack. Percentage max HP. Okay, not bad. Except for the strongest one with the cap of 290 bill. Okay, so there's a cap on it, and it's not the boss killing. It can't kill bosses, because it's like, except the strongest. But I mean, percent base damage here. Memory and stand are the two disc forms that he has, and I'm not sure, he might have the stand one right now, I think. Yeah, it shows above his head. Okay. Prime numbers. If the wave count is a prime number, he gains a 53% damage, 53% range, crit chance, and crit damage, and cannot be stunned for that wave. Okay. Infinite passive there, I think, probably. Not sure how many prime numbers you're going to run into otherwise. Poisonous disc. The unit has a disc counter, cap of 36 on hit. A first hit versus an enemy deal. Wow. Okay. First hit on an enemy deals 1000% extra damage and time stop for 11 seconds, 31% chance to gain 1 disc. Okay. He can gain 1 disc, which is going to ramp up the damage his disc counter does whenever he swaps right here. Otherwise, though, he's got a really strong time stop from that. Melting Heart. Every 45 seconds, spit an acid blob on the enemy. Closest to the base for 15 seconds, enemies inside permanently walk back every 3. Okay. Walk back and plasma, pretty much. We check this guy out. New passives that... Oh boy. Okay, new effect first of all, pressure on upgrade 3. And if I swap him right now, can we see what memory has right now? We cannot. Okay. Just checking. We see like the soaked effect change, but whatever. Okay. Passives on upgrade 4. We got gravity manipulation. Oh, it tells us. Okay, stand Evo 2. He is now a moon and cannot proceed past upgrade 7. Wait, what? Accumulate 100 gravity stacks to unlock his upgrade 7. Oh no. And reach past wave 25. And have vampire diary in your inventory. I probably have that, I hope. What is gravity manipulation? Oh. You have to time stop? Cap of 101. Okay, so you have to... Wait. There's a gravity shift. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna check all these out, I guess, but this is very confusing. He's got a lot of passives going on. Upgrade 4, he gained gravity manipulation, which is a time stop based on his gravity counter. And gravity shift upon entering range, slow by 1.25% per 2% range, so cap of 37.5% slow. When an enemy reaches the closest position to Poche, he's going to gain gravity and time stop. Okay, I need them to reach the closest position to him, and speed them up. So let me go ahead and like place him down at the very front here. Should be doable, right, in this infinite. If I put them on... Wait. Does he have to be closer to their actual spawn point? Yeah, probably. Put him like right here. Sorry guys for the weird, you know, delay as well checking this guy out, but gotta get him to gravity if I can. Oh. Okay, the stand Evo 1 has a requirement to get to stand Evo 2. You need to ramp up his disc counter. Okay, so I can see that right now. Okay, good thing I replaced him, I guess. This is a very confusing unit, sorry. Okay, so you need to ramp him up and have Vampire Bone to get him past upgrade 3. Okay. In the meantime, we'll check out Shiny Utah I got from my live stream, you know. Real ones were here on this beautiful day. And, look at the kills on my Goku. I guess 6.76 quadrillion. Anyway, though, please Poche ramp up a little bit faster. I have to get him to the next upgrade, hopefully. Will the gravity ramp up? Upgrade 4. I put him on like none. Yeah, it's ramping up. Okay, we're getting gravity now so we can get him to upgrade 7. But localized time acceleration. This is also an upgrade 4 passive we can check out. When an enemy reaches the closest spot to Poche, immediately detonate all DOTs on it, then detonate all damaging DOTs every 45 seconds while in range. All damaging DOTs affecting it takes 25% faster permanently. Very good dot buffer, so like burn, bleed, all that stuff. Surface inversion. On crit, walk back target, 4 seconds, 16 second cooldown. Apply mutilate or dismantled. Okay, 50-50. If they have both, remove them. And when attacking the strongest enemy, apply rupture. If it already has rupture, detonate that and deal 2% max HP with a cap of 293 and gain 1 gravity. Okay. A little bit of dollar stuff himself here with mutilate, dismantled, rupture, and a little bit more percent base damage as well, but capped at 293, just like it was for the disc swap ability. Still waiting on him to ramp up the gravity bar here to get him to upgrade 7. Or past upgrade 7. Okay, we can check that out right now. Upgrade 7. What do we get? Time acceleration. Every attack reduces his SPA by 23%, which is going to, you know, make him attack faster. Each application is reduced by 13% of the current buff, so it's going to get weaker and weaker. Is that uncapped? But okay, pretty much going to guarantee get him to 1 SPA. I wonder if that was intentional. 6.6. Okay, whatever. Double acceleration. If SPA reaches 1, attacks apply a random bleed DOT, and all damaging DOTs are detonated immediately on application. A lot of different DOT buffing stuff, and he also has his own bleed stuff. Judgment of Heaven. Every 30 attacks do 100% damage per second, so tick damage. And he also has a random order for a bunch of other DOTs and Dazed. Okay, and Despair, and Shred, and Soaked. Really good debuffing. We were late by 2 steps. Whenever an enemy is time stopped by any source, local cooldown of 40 seconds, deal 50 times damage to the strongest enemy plus 5% max HP cap of 797 billion, and apply Mutilate based on the combined multipliers. Alright, a lot to read on this guy. Hopefully we're finally done. But pretty much a lot of slowing down, a lot of walk back, a lot of stun type of stuff, a lot of damage over time effect buffing, and also self buffing. And maxed out, he looks like got universal reset. I'm not sure when he actually got that. But it doesn't show us in the upgrades anywhere. But he has it right now. Upon activation, he must be at 1 SPA. He's going to guaranteed kill everything, aside bosses that are going to be 65% current HP. Reset all ability cooldowns, reset the SPA buff from time acceleration. Make them take permanently 300% more damage. Okay, pretty much an infinite, like, crazy end-all be-all ability. Crazy one-shot nuke, crazy debuffing, crazy random effect applying. Really good. He's going to cause all these random effects as well and do all that. Okay. Crazy if you max them out. You do need to have certain items in your inventory, which is something I wasn't prepared for, but I had them because I farmed the JoJo Godly back in the day. But there was Poche. Now we're finally moving into the Godly Shinra. Finally, we're checking out the Godly Burning Hero Fused Shinra Divine Boost. And this guy, a lot going on. I'm gonna apologize for, you know, this is like way too much for one guy to read, I think. I'm gonna try, but I'm gonna not do a good job of reading. Yeah, I'm sorry, in advance, but pretty much, he has an ability here, Elemental Grace. We have a random passive or active ability. It says correlate to a random element on your team. I don't have the elements all on my team, but I was able to unlock all of them. Seems like just any random element. It is not correlated to your team at all. Okay, he does have all these different effects here. That is going to be from the first time he unlocks a certain element from that ability we were shocked about. So, you know, can unlock all of these. Oh, okay, you need to have a neutral unit, so if you have, like, Idol on your team, you'll be fine. That's how you get any random element. Okay, so it does correlate to your team a little bit, but as long as you have a farm, you'll be fine. Meaning any neutral unit. As far as abilities go, let's get into these. So this is Eternal Downpour. I'm guessing this is a water one. This is a water buff, and a max HP damage to all enemies on the map constant, like a domain. Okay. Perfect Mimicry, I wonder what that is. Might be like Perfect Seal, maybe. Steal a random unit stats effect, base damage stat, and crit damage stat. If Burning Hero already has a soul and stats effect, replace those with random instead. Okay, kind of like a copying thing. Unit copying. Lightning Shower, 1 trillion damage, and Bolt and Electrify to all enemies, so a huge nuke. And increases while Hyperdrive is active. Maybe we'll find out what that is, I don't know. Increase to damage stat times 1 trillion, so damage stat times this right here. Permanently gain Electrified. Ability spell an infinite cooldown. Okay, crazy nuke and giving him Electrified. And I find like what Hyperdrive is, yeah, so for light here, we'll get to that eventually. Blazing Arrow, this is probably the fire one. So just to recap again, like, if you're confused, he gains either a random passive or a random ability for a certain element. So you can gain both. You need to activate that like a bunch of times to get everything, which I already got out of the way, so we can check out everything at the same time. Here we go. This one right here, Blazing Arrow. Shoot an arrow that deals 35 times as damage to all enemies on the map. Leave a burning area. AoE circle radius 55. It's like a thing on the track, okay? That does 1.2 times its current damage every second to enemies standing inside. Burning area lasts for 5 waves. So like a little thing on the track, which is pretty good for extra damage. Moonlight Scars. Upon activation, charge up for 25 seconds, deal 1.5% current HP, times stats effects currently applied. After this active has been used for the first time, gain Despair. Okay, he can gain Despair, which he doesn't already have, so that's another effect. But looks like a current HP nuke, which is pretty good. And then Fields of Flowers. Upon activation, increases, probably nature by the way. Increases range by 400%. Bro, 400% for 60 seconds. Time stop all enemies for 100 seconds. Apply decay every 10. Dude, decay is a guaranteed one-shot. So the nature ability is a 100-second time stop and a guaranteed one-shot. Wow. And every 10 seconds, so it's going to be like continually one-shotting, continuously one-shotting everything that spawns in during that time stop. Okay. This passive we already read. This is kind of in tandem with his like elements or whatever. Here we go. Water, drowning. Gain a soak. After applying soak to an enemy 3 times, reapply it once more permanently and increase the damage taken. Okay, huge debuff there. Electric related dot also buffed. Water tsunami. Every 150 billion damage he deals, spawn a tsunami summon, max 5 at a time. We can't get 150 billion damage in here, sorry. But a summon, which is going to scale off his own damage with a cap of 100 trill. Perfect seal. Cheatriel. Cheatriel? I don't know. He has extra 55 crit chance. When he hits a crit, he's going to reduce cooldowns of all of his abilities by 15% of their current remaining cooldown. Okay. Doesn't work on infinite cooldown. That's really good though, because he has so many different abilities. So that's actually like not even bad. Metronome, perfect seal. 30 seconds after a unit within his range uses an active ability, he's going to mimic the action of that active ability at 125% effectiveness. That is OP. He's going to copy their ability, a little bit delayed. But like imagine a 100 billion damage nuke, he's going to do it at 125 billion. Light Hyperdrive. Upon reaching a 150 billion damage level for the first time, enter Hyperdrive for 15 seconds, set SP at 1, AoE to full. Random, 3 times each attack. Wow, 3 times each attack. Hyperdrive bar, which we do have right there. And begin filling the Hyperdrive bar. Max 150 bill. Each time Hyperdrive is used, increase the damage requirement by 25%. So this bar right here, I think, is going to go in tandem with his light ability, Lightning Shower. And that's probably pretty much all, I think, maybe. I don't know. Other than what it says right here. Okay. Light Rain. At the start of every wave, a burning hero does 10 times damage to every enemy on the map. So map-wide damage. Star Blaze is a new effect. 3 times damage for 4 seconds. Really good. Stackable timer uncapped for a minute. Star Blaze, that's the new effect right there. Fire. Discovery of Fire. Every third attack, this unit will apply a random fire-related status effect to all enemies hit. If his passive is triggered 25 times, gain the Scarlet Flame status effect. New effect as well. 25% of his damage every 3 seconds permanently. A lot of different stuff going on. I'm sorry I have to read so much on this guy. People in stream chat are getting very impatient, and I apologize. Dark. When an enemy is under the effect of Black Flames, it increases the raw damage they take by 150%. Huge raw damage buff. And also a Shred and... Wow. Shred and Daze. These are both crazy. Every enemy affected. Dark Spiral of Despair. Every time an enemy is affected by a debuffing status effect, they take 10% of his current damage every second. Okay. Anytime they're debuffing, he's taking more dot damage. Nature. When he crits anything, he's going to apply a Flower Tag. At 5 tags, he's going to stun them. Flower tags are going to poison and increase dot damage taken by a stack of flour. 10% per stack of flour. And finally, sorry, I've been trying to speedrun these as fast as I can because I feel like it's going to be a 10-minute segment. Too many passes, man, too many. They overkilled Shinra, I think. But, okay. Nature, Life is a Gift. Every 100 kills obtained by any means, buff all units on the map by 5% damage, max of 50%. At max stacks, all enemies that enter the map are slowed by 15% stackable. Perfect, we're done. I hope. In case he didn't have enough, upgrade 5 he gains plasma. And looks like he maxes out full AoE with 6.35 bill and every effect we see right here that's going off the screen. Okay. If I just start using these, I mean, might as well. There we go. There is maxed out Shinra with pretty much the maxed out Hyperdrive bar as well. I wonder what happens then. 1 SPA. There we go. This is like a new gen Rimuru. I don't know even like how I'm gonna rank this guy on my tier list. I mean, he's neutral, not perfect seal. Also a new godly lead, by the way, I forgot to mention. Okay, extra 5% damage, range, and dot damage for every element activation of the ability. So maxes out... Max is 3 of 15%. Wait, what? I have no idea. Oh, max 15%. Okay, max 3 activations of that and 15%. Okay, you can get 15% range, 15% damage, and 15% dot damage if you ramp him up with his ability at the top there. Elemental Grace. Okay. A lot going on. Sorry for how long that showcase took, but that was every unit from the new Divine Boosted update 76. And again, sorry for being bad at reading. I'm trying to do this while live on stream, so I mean, I don't know, hopefully I didn't waste too much of your guys' time. That was every unit. Thank you to my showcaser Silence 2am, AustPal, and Isaac. And also shout out to the developer Illinif, giving me Shiny Yuta and this awesome Goku now. I don't know. Hopefully they'd eventually maybe take these out of my inventory. Maybe. I don't feel good having boosted stuff. I don't know. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.